Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events. I think it has been about 5 or 7 days since we first talked about this possibility for an Arctic air intrusion, and it's not your typical. We get Arctic air into this area of the country all the time in November. However, the key differences with this is the fact that I think it's going to be quite strong, especially as we go towards not this week, but the following week. More on that in just a little bit. And the fact that it's going to last for so long. Usually when you get Arctic air masses in here, at least as far as my memory serves, it's usually stays around a day or two, and then lifts out, and we moderate the temperatures. This has got staying power. I think that we're going to stay quite cool to cold for the next, starting Tuesday, for at least 7 to 10 days, maybe even more than that, 2 weeks possibly, as we're going to see several shots. There may be a brief moderation in between here and there, a day or two, but there are going to be several shots of very cold air. Now, what you're looking at here, I want to start off here because I don't want to bloviate too long here, and I want to get to the meat of this blog post. But this is what we call 500 millibars according to the European. I'm just picking and choosing this model just to make an example here. And this is valid on Tuesday. And you know that I always say that when you get a ridge to poke up, you're looking at about 20,000 feet in the atmosphere, and you see where it's kind of the river of air in the atmosphere where all these storm systems ride on. Do you see this ridging taking place? This is the United States right here. Here's the West Coast, Western Canada, Alaska. You see this ridging? When it pokes up into this section of the world in North America, you get a downstream trough, and you can get some tremendous pushes of cold air. That is a classic scenario right here to push cold air down into the eastern half of the country from the Rockies eastward. It dislodges that cold air. Many times you're going to hear, wow, it's warmer in Alaska than it is in Arkansas. How weird. Well, no, that's not weird. That's what happens. The cold air is up there. It has to go somewhere, and it's heading south. And I'm just showing this to you. This is Tuesday, and this is this isn't next Tuesday, I think a week. So these are 7 days apart. There's the ridge still poking up through portions of western North America on up into Alaska, and there's the downstream trough. So this pattern continues, and it becomes stormy. Like I said, I think that we're going to have well below average temperatures for 7, 10, maybe 14 days. I don't like to go past that. But anyway, I'm going to use the European model here, and this is on Tuesday. Now, the thing about you have to remember about Arctic air is that it usually comes a little bit faster, and it's stronger. That's the key. It's faster and especially stronger than what the computer models will depict, especially this far in advance. Now, this is Tuesday. I believe I got a snapshot here. I keep switching these maps on you. I'm very sorry. This is late in the day on Tuesday. This is at 6 p.m. I think that this is a little too slow, but it's showing 63 degrees. You can see there's a huge temperature contrast on Tuesday to the 70s here. You got 71 degrees in Monticello, 63 in Little Rock, and then you have the temperatures up in northwest Arkansas into the 40s. So there's the frontal boundary. That's plain as day right in there. But I believe the GFS, this is the European, the global forecasting system, is a little bit faster with this, and I think the NAM is too, although I haven't looked at the last couple of runs of the NAM. But that would make sense, I think, for it to come in a little bit sooner. I'm going with a high temperature near 60, and I think will slowly fall off. And I think these temperatures here, I think the front is a little bit further towards the east at this point in time. All right, now taking a look at, let me see if I can move this down. Wednesday, these are Wednesday high temperatures. Again, I think the European may be a little bit too mild here, but we'll see. It's showing 51 degrees here for the high temperature on Wednesday. Lower 40s for the high temperatures. Maybe it is onto something because it's bottling up that colder air across the Ozarks. Remember, Arctic air is very shallow, and so you have these hills that are just a little bit taller, and so it takes a little bit of time for it to ooze through those mountains, and especially we start to get it coming in on these northeasterly winds. All right, let's see if I can go a little bit further here. That's Wednesday. Here are Thursday high temperatures. Notice it's colder on Thursday according to the European, a high temperature of 44 degrees. Here in Little Rock, it's got high temperatures in the Ozarks only in the 30s. South Arkansas in the mid 40s. High temperatures on Friday. See how it gets progressively colder as that cold air becomes more firmly entrenched? It's got a high temperature in central Arkansas of 37 degrees. Yeah, 37 degrees is what this computer model, this isn't a forecast, this is a computer model projection, is showing. Now, if this were to verify, these would be the coldest daytime high temperatures for that date, most likely, at least very close. So like I told you, not quite your typical cold air mass coming in here when you're looking at daily record high temperatures, at least record low high temperatures, however you want to phrase that. Into Saturday, temperatures are for highs, and this is very important because you got the Razorback game, LSU, coming in to Fayetteville, and it's showing high temperatures on Saturday afternoon, only around freezing. Have fun with that tailgate. And here in central Arkansas, you have high temperatures into the upper 30s. But why is it colder here? Well, look at this, precipitation. This is where things get a little bit tricky, and I want to caution you that this forecast or this computer model will change. But there is consistency in the computer models, which indicates a wave of moisture, fairly fast moving, coming through next Saturday. And with cold Arctic air in place, hey, you got to think about snow, you've got to think about sleet, and you've got to think about where that cold rain is going to set up. Remember the 540 line is a good indication of where the rain-snow line is going to be. Right now, and what I've been saying this weekend is that I like to favor a cold rain right now in central Arkansas, and I can't even rule out some sleet pellets, but a cold rain in central and south Arkansas, and I think it's northern Arkansas that's got a chance for sleet, snow, mixture. There, I've said it, all right? There's at least a chance. It's Sunday, and this is next Saturday, so I want to caution you, this can and will change, but there's a wave of low pressure. It's a classic scenario. You get cold northeasterly winds here at the surface, and there's the precipitation. There's the 540 line. It's hugging the Arkansas-Missouri border and getting awfully close to Fayetteville, but this is a situation where you have to look for that mixture in northwest Arkansas by game time. From my understanding, it has not snowed at a Razorback game in Fayetteville since Auburn came to town, October 30th of 1993. So if this were to happen, it would be the first Razorback game in more than 20 years that has had snowfall. Now, there's going to be another push of cold air, I think. Like I said, this has got lasting, staying power, this cold air. Once this exits towards the east, it's going to pull more cold air, and I think that could be stronger for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think it's more powerful, but there are a couple of other reasons why I want to show you. This is the the European depicted total snowfall, and this is valid by Tuesday at noon. Notice how you get a lot of snow here across Minnesota, and these northerly winds are blowing, and there's not a whole lot of snowpack near Arkansas. So what that does is that air coming out of Canada will have some time to moderate because it's not going over extensive snow fields to start off with. But look what happens a week away. Look how vast the snow field is across North America. From New England, you even get some in the plains and into the Rockies. So there's more snow cover, and yes, you're seeing accumulating snows in Arkansas. Like I said, this is way far. This could shift towards the north. This is way far in the future. But the bottom line, what I want to show you is that the air that will be coming across those snow fields the following week may keep its chill a little bit longer. And so while this week is going to get colder, the following week has at least the potential to be even colder. So a lot to talk about. A lot to follow over the next 7 days, over the next 14 days. I've talked now for 9 minutes. Thank goodness. I think YouTube has a limit on these of 15 minutes, or I just yap. Winter weather contest. I will get that kicked off, but remember, we never use the winter weather contest. It always starts on meteorological winter, which is December 1st. So this is kind of bonus, isn't it? But like I said, the front comes in on Tuesday. The timing of that is questionable. Remember, that cold air, that Arctic air usually is stronger than what the models depict. And you're going to get that cold air. You're going to get waves of cold air coming in throughout the week. Daytime highs probably in the 40s, maybe 30s by the end of the week. Overnight lows will be in the 20s. Wind chill values. I didn't show you wind chill values, but I will on Facebook and Twitter as the week goes on. Those wind chill values are going to drop into the teens and 20s across the state. And the key to this forecast is watching what happens on Saturday with a wave of moisture. How much cold air is in place? The thermal profile of the cold air we're talking about, is it freezing all the way from the surface up? Will there be a layer of warm air aloft? All these things are just too early to get specific with. But right now, I like my forecast of what I'm going with, which calls for a cold rain across central and southern Arkansas and a wintry mix across the north. Can that change? Obviously. It's Sunday. I'm recording this, and this isn't until next Saturday. So this is the place to get your winter weather information. I'm looking forward to it. Another exciting winter season. A cold season is here, and the cold season is here. And thank you so much for trusting us at Channel 7 and for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog for your in-depth information. Thanks again. This is your ticket to big weather events. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.